Hello everyone, it's me again, Chocolate Geisha, back for another video, so thank you for tuning in. And today we have a very important video about the Japanese culture, so if you're interested, then stay tuned. Today's video is going to be about Japanese honorifics. Yes, Japanese honorifics. Japan is a very unique culture in the sense that when you say someone's name, it's usually not just their name. You add an honorific to the end. For those of you who are interested in coming to Japan one day, maybe studying abroad or just visiting for fun, this is a very key part of the culture that is integral to understanding life here. These honorifics are rated from most casual to most formal. So let's get started. The first honorific is beau, and maybe you haven't heard this term before because it's very rare, and that's because it is extremely cutesy. It translates to little boy or little one. This term is reserved for little boys, so don't use this with anyone else, and it can be considered rude if you use it in the wrong circumstance. But it is a term of endearment that you use for a young boy, and it does imply a certain level of distance as far as status goes and as far as maturity. Number 2 is Chun, and Chun translates roughly to my darling or my dear. So Chun is definitely a term of endearment used especially with girls but also with boys, and it can really be used at any age range as long as you are close to this person. Bit of a story time. So back in college, when I was first making friends with the Japanese exchange students, I had this one friend, and the first time he called me Didora-chan, I finally knew that he considered me a friend as well. So that's the kind of relationship that you need to have in order for Chan to be considered okay. It's definitely not a term that you throw on someone that you just met. It's not a term that you usually use with those older than you. If you have a special connection with someone and you have that kind of casual relationship, then Chan is something that you can use to bring someone closer or to show them that you view them closely. Number 3 is kun, and kun is the male equivalent to Chan. It can be used for girls as well, but it's usually saved for boys. This is a term that is saved exclusively for youth or those in your same life arena. So if you're both students in school, you can call someone kun to have a similar relationship as you would calling them Chan. Number 3 is san. And I'm sure many of you have heard this used before in popular media or in movies, dramas, anime. I'm sure you guys have heard this term used before because it is the most frequently used honorific out of the bunch. San translates roughly to Mr., Mrs., or Miss. This is the term that you use when you first meet someone or if you know someone but they're not that close. When in doubt, use a san and you can't go wrong. Number 5 is Sensei. And I'm sure many of you have heard this term used before because Sensei means teacher. It can also be translated to doctor, and that's exactly who you use this term with. Someone who knows more than you, someone who is teaching you something, or someone who you may be in the care of. This term definitely commands respect when you use it. It is seen as being very culturally sensitive if you can use it with someone who is deserving of this title. Number 6 is sama. Sama is used with those who are significantly higher in status than you. It can also be used as kind of being sarcastic if you want to allude that someone is self-righteous or self-entitled. It's also used to flatter someone. In Japanese, there's a term called otsukare-sama, and otsukare means to be tired. And sama is that word that you use to uplift someone. So if you call someone otsukare-sama, the amount of dedication that they have shown to their work that has made them that exhausted is worthy of praise. And that they should be placed above everyone else. And that is a cultural note that ties into sama. Sama is used for a person that is worthy of respect. you use it with God, actually. In Japanese, there's Kamisama, which is God. That basically sums up how sama should be used. It's extremely formal. Chances are you won't be using it on a day-to-day basis, but if there is someone who is worthy of that respect, you pay them that respect by using sama. Number 7 is dono. Dono translates to my lord or my lady, and it's exactly how it sounds. Very old-fashioned, but also similar to sama, implies a lot of respect for the person who the term is being used for. No one uses it these days. Usually you'll see it in old-fashioned movies or old-fashioned anime if it's during like the samurai period, but it is similar to sama in the sense that it is extremely formal, and that is not a commoner's term that you use with a person in your everyday life. It is said for those who are of especially high status, and that is about it. So when you come to Japan, feel free to use these terms and try and challenge yourself to use the appropriate term at the appropriate time. And I am sure that you will be able to impress your Japanese friends and colleagues with your cultural awareness. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you like this video, then like it. And if you want to see more, then hit subscribe and become part of the YouTube fam. But thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye! Because it is extremely commonly used. Wait, no, that's not good grammar. Yeah, it's pretty formal, okay?